Are we started?
I already
I
started.
don't.
We already started, Boot.
Well, I know we started. I didn't know the pot. Well, I got to do like the whole welcome to the
You can
Hey,
record
to the
that
show.
afterwards.
hey, we're gonna go right into welcome here. This is a
All right.
remote. This is a remote cast. Here's Simon, and we got Boot
All
right
right.
here with a very special edition of the Per 36
Very
Pod.
I like how every edition is the very special edition. I'd say this
Yes.
is not a very special edition. This is a pretty
I would say this.
average or
You could
even
also
below
say this is
average
one of our
edition.
most special editions. We're in
I
quarantine. We're still connecting. We got
It's true.
Mike. We got Mike Vorkunov stealing our ideas.
Yeah. And I'm here. My name is Matt. I just wanted to introduce myself. Guest on the pod. I don't know where you want me to say that, but here it is.
That's perfect.
Okay. Shout
Well
out
done.
Chris Copeland, second best guest. Shout out Scott
Let's
with Brian. He's now third. But
Oh,
was good.
Scout with Brian, man.
What
He's
is
a real
Scout with
character.
Brian gonna do without film to break down in his kitchen?
Well, he will have a lot of fun to break down because literally all he does for his video breakdowns is he takes one single game and uses that as a
And he's
sample
just like,
size. So he
look
can
at
just
the
like,
pivot. Look at his left pivot foot.
you look like if you're one of the 600 viewers of any of those videos, like it's literally
Yo,
always just one game to prove his point. He used for his reasoning for why Jamal Crawford should still be in the NBA.
that
He
52-point
used
game.
Keep it
he used a
real.
52-point game.
A guy who scored 51 points on 18 of 30 from the field and 7 of 13 from 3 in the last NBA game he played in, the last game of last season against the Dallas Mavericks, should not be unsigned right now. He's got
Game. He actually used two games. He used that, and to prove it wasn't just that one fluke, he used one game. He had 22 against the Spurs. So if that's not showing you right now that he should be in the NBA, then I don't
I
even know what
bet
to tell you.
I bet you his
So Jamal
Patreon is
Crawford's
gonna
elite.
take a hit. Yeah, Jamal
Zach.
Crawford.
He's elite because he had two good games, and if you break down him getting hot for two good games, he's really good.
I
And it
bet
doesn't
you.
matter that
I bet you Brian's
doesn't matter that he's like the
Patreon.
worst
His
defender in the
Patreon is gonna
NBA.
take a hit. It's gonna take an absolute
That's true.
hit.
That's true. With the corona epidemic, there's a lot of economic fallouts. What people are gonna have to cut costs, and one of the first things to go, unfortunately, may be my
Scout
Patreon
with Brian's
subscription
Patreon.
to Scout with Brian. Yeah.
His interns,
So,
his group of dedicated interns that pay him.
good God, it's turned into
It's a roast. Yeah.
a roast. It's a roast of Scout.
I mean,
That's
it's
his
expected.
It's his first name.
So how do we
Scout.
want to get into? Wait, first off, before we get into our per 36 All-Star teams, just a quick
Yes.
question. Do you think that Rudy Gobert gave coronavirus to Christian Wood, or do you think Christian Wood is actually the secret DL patient zero?
All right. Well, you want to know the secret patient zero? This is a crazy story. So I was in Atlanta a few not months ago, like whenever our last
Winter
break
break,
was. I don't know. Yeah, winter break.
December.
During winter break, I'm in Atlanta with my family to visit Emory with my brother. We're staying at the same hotel as none other than Detroit Pistons. I wasn't there at the time, but my mom was in the elevator with Christian Wood. They were in the elevator together, and my mom, for like the first time ever, like just randomly is like kind of goes for it, and she's like, oh, are you a basketball player? Which is like a very ridiculous question considering
A
he's
mom.
6'10", wearing like a Detroit Pistons shirt, and he's like, I think he just gave like a fake laugh and was like, yeah, I don't remember the whole story, but like 5 days later, my mom was like pretty sick. So like, what if either maybe my mom got the Rona from Christian Wood,
Or your mom
perhaps
gave Christian
my
Wood the
mom
Rona.
gave Christian Wood the Rona, who gave it to Gobert and shut down the entirety of the NBA. I mean,
That's a
So-
scoop right there.
that's
Also,
that's good.
I mean, is
What does
Christian
this
Wood's
say?
flu game better than Jordan's? Are we sure? It's
He
not.
had
Christian
30
Wood had
he
a
32
fantastic
in his
flu game.
last game. Gobert had a horrible flu game. I was just gonna do a low league video
Well,
of him,
here's the
and
thing.
I'm not
Gobert
sure
had like
whether
3 flu games. Like the man, like he wasn't like there
his
wasn't one.
his last flu game was horrible though. I was gonna do a low light video of it. I may still do one though. Like I don't know if I'm because now he like is a good guy because he donated the money, but I think we still like to make fun of him. So I don't know whether to do it or not. But I
I
don't know.
mean,
Probably
it's,
he had like 4 points and 6 rebounds in 32 minutes. It was like a -20, and
I mean,
let Serge drop 28 on his head. Like he had a
Serge
pretty horrendous flu game.
Surge
Yeah, it's
dropped
tough.
28 on his head, matched up with him 82 times over 4 quarters, and licked the ball
Yeah.
after the free throw. And Surge did not get it, which gives me some hope. Where like if
We
Surge can do that,
we
like
It's probably those scarves she
yeah.
wears. You know, it really helps in
it.
terms of like keeping it away.
I mean, credit to Serge Ibaka and his elite immune system. Uh, I mean, a lot of people say Serge may be like older than he actually is. So I mean, that's a good case right there that he's not if he was able to survive. He's literally like licking the Rona
He
off
literally
the
licked.
ball
He
and didn't
licked
get
raw
it.
Rona. He
Like
He,
there's not
Is
much
Serge
more
Ibaka
you
a
could do.
superhero?
Perhaps.
it's possible.
Like if you were trying to get the Rona, there's
He
not much
did
more you
date
could
Carrie
do than like
Hilson. He
to
did
like
date Carrie Hilson.
hug a sweaty man with the Rona and literally lick the ball he's making contact with. Like you cannot do much more, and yet Serge is super genius. They just would not permit that.
Dude, he zigs where they zag. I think this means that Serge Ibaka is probably the best player from that Thunder team. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like,
That's
think
true.
about it.
That's
No
true.
other guy on that team could have like has survived Corona like
We have
Serge
no.
Ibaka.
Here's the thing, we we could only be at the tip of the iceberg. We could start just
Yeah,
seeing
I mean
like
that's
boom,
true.
Eric
It's
Gordon,
true.
boom, Thabo Cephalosha. Like we don't know how this goes.
Yeah, if yeah, that's true. If we lose Stavo, man, that's the line I draw. You know what I mean?
That's
You
when you
lose
know
a
it's real.
defensive
Like, I mean,
specialist. It's
fine.
tough.
Tom, you give it to Tom Hanks, you give it to Idris Elba, but the moment Thabo Cephalosha, he's gonna.
If
Yeah,
Thabo
you
Cephalosha
gotta
get
Well, no,
draw the line.
actually, I kind of have beef with Thabo Cephalosha because he was there that night when Cope got stabbed, and
oh,
he
but hey,
he like obstructed like the
no, but
crime scene.
Thabo got his
So
leg broken by the cops.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
yeah.
In
So,
the
all right, yeah, and you know, I'm more about the Cope point of view, and if he was causing like a ruckus,
Bruh,
it's like
no,
they're trying to figure out what happened to my man's.
no, Thabo
That's
got like,
also Perra Antiques. I think he
yep,
got in trouble too.
dude. How about
Perra Antiques. That's
remember when
that's a good per 36 All
remember
Star.
Clee Anthony Early got shot outside Starlet's, the strip club in Queens? His career was never the same. That was awful.
He was the who's
Dude,
like the current Nick
I was
that
more
he was
hyped
in.
about that second round. Like I remember like exactly where I was when I found out that we had drafted Clee Anthony Early,
He was
and I thought he was going to
Light.
be a star. I actually thought Clee Anthony Early was going to be a star. I was so
He was
sold
so
on
fun in
him.
college.
He was so
I don't
fun.
know, like every like Knicks pick during like the Phil Jackson era, like we like kind of expected it was just because like they were actually like picks that we had. I don't know, like Jaren Grant, that was supposed to be like he was
Dude,
supposed to
remember
be
when we
like
traded
that boy
that
too.
we traded Tim Hardaway Jr. for him on draft night, and dude, Jaren Grant, I thought it was like this is our guy for the future.
But also, I thought Tim Hardaway. I mean, after that rookie year, I thought he was going to be like
Tim Hardaway was
actual Tim
so
Hardaway.
good.
Like
I remember him on Michigan. He was buckets.
Dude, I remember after Tim Hardaway's rookie year, I was at the summer league, and I think in like the first summer league game, he went off for like 30 points, and I was telling my dad, I was like, he is our franchise cornerstone, and
it's
you know, it
funny
turns out
because
he turned out to be our franchise.
But well, I mean, it's funny because like it's normal to think that after like as we're like young gentlemen, and it's normal to think that after like his solid rookie season. But after his sophomore season, it was clear he was not that boy. They traded for Jaren Grant, our next future franchise cornerstone, and then they're like, oh wait, actually maybe we were right that first time when we thought he was that boy. Like it's like
Well, just
like
if
you
you're
were already wrong.
if you
knew
think
you were,
back
like.
to the Jaren Grant days, like it was just weird. Like he was like a real first round pick, and it was just like I guess we'll play him a little bit, and then like halfway into the year, it was just like he's kind of bad. Like there was no like the hype was big at first.
He was good at first. He even had like some decent like 20 like I don't know, he had decent games,
He
and
was
then I think
good.
just realized that like, oh, this is a dude that's like not actually good at any one thing in particular besides just like driving straight to the hoop. He can't shoot whatsoever. So I think they just
Like
kind of figured that out. And
he was
that
considered
was
the
that
he
was
was
it.
considered like the actual like the way better brother, and Jarian's been like
Yeah, that's tough.
sick.
That's a big L.
I mean,
Or maybe
Jarian's
he's being
Jarian,
blocked.
Jarian.
Maybe he's being blocked by
Shout out
Tristan. I don't know. It's
It's
possible.
Shout out to
possible.
the like fake Knicks franchise point guards and Jaren Grant, Trey Murray,
Hey,
Simon
I
Love.
I'll s- I, oh
We got memories of Trey.
I almost spoiled one of my players. I was gonna
Oh
say.
yeah,
Should we get into
but
that?
yeah. Well, I don't know. We got some time. We could keep
We do have
riffing
some
on
time. My
whatever the
my
heck we're doing
my
right now.
computer seems to be at 12%. That's fine.
What?
No, it's fine. I was just looking at the charge. My
All right,
computer.
all right. I mean, I guess while we're riffing on just random underappreciated players, to put it, we could get into our team. So because there's no
Wait,
basketball
question
right now.
before we go into it.
Oh.
Are we doing?
Yes.
Do you want to do 5 players at once, or do you want to go around the horn by position?
Interesting.
It's a good question. I feel like maybe
I was
I was
thinking
saying,
all at once, but we could go around the horn, just like who's our point guard, who's our like initial.
yeah. I guess it makes more sense, so it's more involved. But I mean, either way, we could just go like just break down each player. I guess we could go position by position.
Let's go position. Otherwise, it's just us listing and
All right.
talking.
Yeah. All right. So we because the Rona has halted all progress, we're gonna bring you some breaking news. What everyone's been dying for, some nice content at home. We're gonna talk about our. I feel like this may even be too early in the sports Rona recession.
I feel like
we're
showing our hands too early. No.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
here's the thing. This is our
if
time
this is
to.
like 4 days into quarantine,
No,
and this is
we
already
will.
like we could still be breaking down. We could still be pretending like the season's coming back and
I
stuff. Like we
know.
could still be. There's still current news to talk about. Like we might be going a little too deep to go into this already.
No, but we could be the
like we could
content
still.
kings. We'll be fine.
Yeah, all right.
We'll be the
We'll be
content king.
content kings, and we can make nice little graphics maybe. But
Yeah.
instead of doing like my essays and stuff. All right. So each of us will present not our best starting five. Like this is not a Mount Rushmore. This is not gonna. There will be no Magic Johnsons or Larry Birds here. Perhaps a Patrick Ewing Jr. But we're just gonna present. But we're gonna present our. Each of us will present our all-time per 36 All-Stars. I guess we'll start with point guard. I guess I can go first. I mean, everyone's fan favorite. I mean, truly. I mean, if Simon and I, like, Simon probably would have this guy too, but we got to change up a bit. But anyway, starting at point guard, perhaps genuinely might be the best point guard of the past, like, I don't know, like decade for the Knicks.
And one of the best, an up and rising player development coach.
Yeah, I would genuinely love to have him as the next coach. The Knicks, Paolo Prigioni is my point guard for the Knicks.
Okay.
He's like an elder Frank when you think about it. Like he's kind of just like old Frank. But I guess it's disrespectful to Pablo though. He's more just like it same vibes. I don't know.
No, Pablo was special, and like how old was he when he came in? 31. That rookie year, he was 31.
No. He was 35. He was old.
Yeah.
He was
A young
old man.
35. A young 35.
Yeah, I mean he was 35, but I mean he had the cunning of like a young fox. I don't know. He's a clever boy.
He was. Oh, I can't. I'll get too upset and nostalgic if I think of that team too much. It made us too happy.
Yeah, it's all we got. The NBA is like over. Like sports are canceled, and all we have in like our like decade of fandom is 1 year. We got
the 2011,
killed.
2012 Knicks.
Yeah, like 2 years of like second round exits at best. Like what a romantic era, you know.
I think for my guard, so obviously I would choose Pablo too, but
we gotta switch it up, you know.
You gotta switch it up, and here's a guy who was like a core Knick from like 2008 to like 2011. I'm gonna have to go with my guy out of Florida State, Tony Douglas.
It's a pretty elite pick.
Now, he had his moments where he could score. He also, I think, he might hold the record for most times blindsided by a screen in the backcourt, because I have never seen anything like it, where he would get screened, like basically guarding the ball handler, and he would just get like actually like just like toe trucked in the face like 3 times a game, and I just started to love him because of it. Um, and so yeah, definitely Tony Douglas is my guy, and he stuck around like a while.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
he was and still is a bucket. Let me just put that
Yeah,
out there.
Tony Douglas is a bucket.
he perhaps ahead of his time, one of the first point guards to shoot threes. Uh, this truly an elite marksman. I mean, he was one of like the better guys on like that freaking like when it was just Amari and Scrubs. Like he was like in
I
the
know.
promos. Like he like averaged 10 points a
He
game
wore
with
the
like
he wore the
sheer force of
23.
like no other players.
No,
Yeah,
he was our MJ.
he was the closest the Knicks have had to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he was,
It's
and
like,
now he's rocking like a nice flat top, dude. He's really, he's coming to his own. So I
where's
really
he? Is
think,
he playing in China now?
let's see where he's playing. He's playing for Movistar Estudiantes of the Liga ACB, like a powerhouse in that area, I think. Um, but he's a bucket. He always has been. He in his last game, he was 3 of 9 from the field for 7 points with 1 assist. You know,
Just
Wait,
the
but
way I like it.
in
30%
China
shooting.
he was 3 for
no,
9.
I guess he's no, he's playing
Spain
in
or
like
something.
Liga ACB. Yeah,
Spain
I don't know. But shout
or
out to his
Turkey.
Oh
wife
my God!
Charisse.
But no, he's been horrible. Look at the numbers. Is lat more Bank Andorra, which was also like the last team Chris Copeland played for, I think, or second to last. He had 5 points on 2 of 10, and the game before that 5 points on 1 of 9. Like he's struggling.
It
In
could be a
Tony.
system thing. He deserves his
It
own
could be.
offense.
It really could be a system
yeah,
thing.
he's one of those guys where it's like you gotta build around him. He needs to be
Yeah, clear out for
the
Tony
thing.
kind of thing.
But yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
Who's
his second year in the league, he averaged 11, 3 and 3.
yeah? He was
He was the
promising.
Knicks'
He was
future point
promising.
guard,
No, he
and
was
then
actually like promising.
that was like his best year in the league.
He just had such a weird build. He was just like six.
He's too tiny.
He was like 6'1", 140. Like
Yeah,
He's
that's
out of
tough.
his time.
You gotta put on if he would have put on some pounds and like dedicated his body to the NBA grind, I think he could have still been in the league.
who are you gonna go for your
So
point?
for mine, I'm a Lakers fan, so I was thinking, do I go with Marcelo Huertas? Do I go with someone like that? And I was also like, no, I'm Jewish, so I'm gonna go with the
Jordan.
point
Yep.
guard,
Yep.
Jordan Farmar. He missed
The
his
Messiah.
sister's bat mitzvah for the NBA Finals.
Oh
And
God.
I think that's just some serious dedication. Like it's about buckets, not faith.
Yeah, but are
And
you prioritizing the right things? Should he have pulled the Sandy Koufax? You know,
I
He
mean,
not.
Jordan Farmar was a Jewish legend. I remember it back in the day
yeah,
on those
Jordan
Kobe
Farmar was
teams.
Gall Meckel before
And
No,
Gall
yeah,
Meckel.
yeah,
no.
of course, Gal Michael. I mean, Amari technically won too. Omri Caspi. I mean,
Omri
Yep.
Gassipi.
I mean, it's not a
Thiago
great.
Splitter.
He was the only mainland, like he was the only like non-Israeli Jew in the league, I think, at the time.
Yeah,
Who?
and I remember like I'm from Southern California. I remember watching him play at UCLA,
Yep,
and I
UCLA
was
was
like,
great.
this guy's gonna be good. And
Yeah,
he
Well,
was
yeah,
not really that good.
he's also a guy that like was
So
supposed
I don't know,
like
but
his second year in the
he
league.
was a staple for those
He
Laker
averaged
teams.
9 points. Yeah, like he was like people genuinely thought he was gonna be nice, like,
Yeah,
and
he
then
yeah.
he just proved to be too Jewish for the league, you know.
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah. I mean, I don't think the league was ready for him. It's tough. Like I think if he came along, maybe 10 years from now, I think he would be a nice Chris Paul like point guard. You can set the table on offense. You know, and people forget that in 2013 and the 2013-2014 season, he made his return to the Lakers, but they still weren't ready for him. He only had 5 starts. And he didn't really have what they needed. They didn't really need what he had. It just didn't really have the fit. The New Jersey thing was tough.
Yeah.
He might have been a little bit overpaid.
If
Uh,
Jordan Farmar came in the league now with Mike D'Antoni taking him under his wing, he'd probably be starting over James Harden.
I
to
think
be
I think I
frankly
think
candid
Jordan
with you.
Farmer could play the 5 for the Rockets right now. I'm just gonna say that.
No, I mean, all right. I mean,
It's
that was a
not.
little too
I mean,
much, but like
all right.
he
Well, maybe not the
genuinely like
5, but like,
saw. No, yeah. No, I'm just saying what I said is too much, but he could have been something. I don't know. It's a shame.
yeah. And I mean, just like to miss your sister's bat mitzvah for the NBA Finals, like,
It's
you know who?
dedication.
I don't think Jordan would do that. Like Jordan's sister didn't have a bat mitzvah. He wouldn't. You know what I mean?
It's sure. Yeah, I mean, who is the better Jordan? You have to ask yourself that.
Yeah. Like you're doing the
And
all-time Jordan rankings. Like Jordan Farmer's got to be up there. You know
he's
what I mean?
far more superior at basketball, if you will.
Yeah.
Now,
Anyway,
now
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
done.
Exactly.
I might need to hang up because of that. I might need to hang up.
all right. On to the next one. I don't know, Simon, should I do my like serious-ish one or like the like mini Kobe or my fellow
I
brother? 'Cause
no no
so I feel
fellow
like I should go for the brother. All right.
fellow brother.
Then I don't know fellow. All right. Anyway, my shooting guard gotta be the one and only, a man who's touched me deeply. We got in a lot of Instagram spats. He followed me at one point, then he blocked me. He had a 3-strike system before he blocked me. I
he
think he secretly liked me. But Chris Smith, my starting shooting guard, in there
Hey.
Okay,
solely
wait,
solely in
before you get
solely
into
because of
this,
nepotism.
before you get into this, I do want to acknowledge, like, I really respected that he gave you a 3-strike system, because, like, he really put it all on you and made it your fault when you finally got the block. Like, you couldn't really blame anyone but yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Smith, truly a master troll. Maybe that IQ didn't translate to the court too much, but certainly off the court, I mean, me and him, I don't know if anyone, like, I don't think I've explained on the pod, but we've had some battles where it would essentially be me and my friends would, just because we were little hooligans, we'd troll all over his Instagram. But my friends, they'd
I
all come like
remember.
an insta block. First comment, they were out of there. But for me, like when he would like make a caption that was like hashtag whoop, and I would comment poop, like more like hashtag poop or something, or he would make a caption that's like what's on your feet, and I'd be like socks, um, like, and
I remember more like hashtag poop. More like hashtag
yeah,
poop
that's like
was like an iconic. That was like really
yeah,
one of your
it was like
iconic
on
Bootum
every
moments.
post, but for me, he'd be for everyone else, they're out of there like that. For me, 3 strike system. I think he truly liked me. Then he did eventually block me. And there's a master troll at that too, because like I'd be in his DMs and like sending him like at the time you could still DM people when you were blocked, and I would like I sent him like a picture of like him and JR with some captions just to me like unblock me please or something like that. I don't remember. Or you was probably like, oh, like, come on, Chris, like, I'm like brother to you too. Like, I don't know. But he then like would like the picture. Like, he would like all my like pleas. He wouldn't respond, but he'd like them, and he'd occasionally post a picture just like to rub it in too. Like, he posted like a screenshot I sent him, but he would not unblock me. But then one time he did follow me, and then I must have just like broken his trust again. Like he finally like after I made an account, it's like unblock Xander Bottom Rules, my account at the time. He finally unblocked me and followed me, and then I guess I broke his trust somewhere along the lines because then he did end up blocking me again. But it's a good time. Uh, really a stupid story, but Chris Smith, he did not literally like in every single stop he has not like because what I made fun of him too is like after like outside of getting cut from the Knicks, which is fair, he like would go. He got cut from like the Erie Bayhawks and like also Hapoel Jerusalem. But actually, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think he
tell
was
you
cut.
this.
Like each time it was like I walked away from the team. I don't know. It's
I
all
was
very silly.
I was the Chris Smith at Louisville guy. I believed in him. Like I went in, I was like, he's JR's brother. They're gonna have great on court chemistry. Um, like no, but the Louisville, there was a guy named Russ Smith on Louisville who could
Of
ball, and
course.
Oh
yeah,
my
Of
God,
course.
yeah, of course. He
Russ
had like
Smith
a
was a
huge game in the
baller.
G League, I think. I
Yeah,
thought he was
Russ
gonna be
Smith was
good too.
great.
I'm a
Yeah, and
sucker for like box score sets in college, so I thought he was
yeah,
gonna be a beast.
Peyton Siva, that whole team.
Of course.
Peyton Siva. Okay, so my two guard. This was a little more difficult for me because it's like, who am I counting as a two? Who am I counting as a 3? I have many guys I want to get in here, but I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. This is one guy I remember being super excited for. Andy Routens. So
Syracuse legend.
coming out of Q's, this guy was like one of the best players in college basketball. He was just that classic 4-year college basketball white guy who I thought was going to come in and shoot the lights out and just be like super hype. And I remember he came in, and I think he was drafted above the next guy who I'm going to say, but I remember that rookie class. I think Mozgov was part of that rookie class. He was the first rookie to start a game for us in like a crazy amount of time. But no, Andy Routens was a guy who I just remember being super hyped out about coming out of Cuse and then being really disappointed by when he did absolutely nothing. But there was a weird circumstance with him where like he played a little bit. I'm looking right now. Oh, he's playing for Rick Pitino right now at Panathinaikos.
Panathinaikos.
Yeah.
That's an elite squad. There's a lot of per 36
It is an elite squad.
all-stars.
Okay, hey, so
They have
2010,
Timmer too, don't they?
2010 for the Knicks averaged 4.8 minutes a game, 1.6 points on 43% shooting.
That's pretty good. What's that?
He
per
had his
36?
moment. He had his moment. It's pretty. I bet you if I look at his per 36, they're kind of fire. Let me see these bad boys.
Oh god, he only played one season.
Yeah, he literally. That's why it was so weird. He played one season, then he just disappeared. Like he was a second round pick.
Also, those are not good per 36.
They're awful per 36 numbers.
That's 12 points. It's not very good. He might have had the worst season of all time.
He might. Yeah. So he went. He played the
13.2.
Hey, he won the D League 3-point shootout in 2013. So that's
nice.
You know what? There you go. That's his legacy.
Good.
That's his legacy. Who's your second player?
So for mine, I was trying to think like who was a guy I really thought was going to be good, and unfortunately, I have to say I thought Marshawn Brooks was going to be good.
Oh, that was
going to be his. He was going to go Marshawn Brooks.
I mean, that was the original.
That was the
original
original
choice.
choice.
The second one, that was the original Froby, honestly.
I remember him, dude. I was like, this guy, he's an athlete.
Dude, Marshawn Brooks at Providence, I was convinced he was going to be like a top 10 NBA player. Like
yeah, and then I remember the Lakers trading for him, and I was like, okay, maybe maybe they'll figure it out with him. He just needs the right system.
Dude, on the Lakers, he was getting buckets. Like he was.
I know he had a couple of games. I was like, all right, we found the next Kobe.
But also last year, he came back into the league. I mean, he really had an elite.
No, he was elite.
6-game.
He was elite.
Very good last year. 7 games. In those 7 games, after taking literally 4 years off in China.
Yeah.
Per 36, the man averaged 26, 4, and 5 on 50, 59, 87. I mean, those are elite numbers. And then tragically last year, and then all that thrown aside, just for him to be part of the Dylan Brooks drama. Which is mad because essentially the whole point of everyone's confusion is not understanding why anyone would trade for Marshawn Brooks.
Wow, those were simpler times. The Dylan Brooks drama.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Marshawn never really got the start he wanted. He just never really got the opportunity.
Well, here's the thing: if I remember correctly,
and China got the opportunity. He led the CBA in scoring 3 straight times.
So
literally
if I remember correctly, he actually had 2 years of solid contributing to the Nets where he was scoring maybe 12, 13 a game. And then there was the lockout. And he went to China during the lockout. And it was some sort of weird thing where the NBA came back, but he just stayed. I don't know if he signed a longer contract. He definitely would have been able to come back to the NBA because the lockout happened right when he was playing his best basketball.
Yeah, but then he just the contract thing or something.
Yeah, he just stayed in China for another season or two. And then I told you the story, Boot.
I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, I told you the story from last night when I was at the Summer League. After the Kings won the Summer League championship, I chased Marshawn Brooks out the Thomas and Mack Center to his Toyota Highlander in the parking lot, and he gave me his shoes. And I remember that.
Nice.
And my dad called me a crazy person. Yeah, he signed them. They're sweaty. It's great.
That's a
Um,
collector's
But
item right there.
but yeah,
no,
I think
it really is.
his rookie year, he was genuinely pretty good to start off. In the first 16 games, he averaged 15 uh, on 47, 37, 77. Pretty good for like
Yeah.
a rookie. But then second half of the year, I mean, mostly his slump was like after the All-Star game. He averaged uh like to only 12 a game. But I still believed, like I followed the Nets a lot the next year. I was like always confused why he didn't get to play. I mean, he did. Oh my God, he played 73 games the second year for the Nets, but only 13 minutes a game. I don't even remember. That's so weird that he played.
He only started
He
2 games.
It's
he played so. But dude, in one of those two starts, he got buckets. He put up. I remember vividly. He had 27 in like 7 game in that in one of the yeah in that one start. He had 27 points and 7 assists. I mean, the man was a bucket. Like,
I feel like he
make
would
no
have been really
mistake.
good. Like if the NBA just like played like blacktop mode, like that was just the way the NBA worked. I feel like Marshawn Brooks would be really good. But
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I mean,
it's
he
just
he he. No, I mean, I actually remember vividly also from like the association, like the Hard Knocks ripoff the NBA did, like Darren Williams being like, oh yeah, he's great, but like defense, and then like he like asked about his defense, like he literally cracked up, like he could score. He was a human bucket.
yeah.
All right,
I mean, I hope he's
uh,
doing well. Shout out Marshawn.
shout out
Um,
Marshawn. All right, we only have 5 minutes left. Should we make this like a two-parter, or
yeah,
should we just like have?
we could
We'll
make
just,
this a two-parter. We really could.
all right, people are really gonna be wanting to wait, or should we just keep going and split it up into two? Like, should we just finish it all off now, and then we'll release it in two separate sets, perhaps?
Oh,
Could
like
do
we
that.
could do that. I mean, how long? Like, if you want to edit it like that.
No, I don't know. I mean, we could do the second part a second time. See if people actually. Let's not waste our breath if
I mean,
people
I don't know. It
people.
seems kind of silly though. Just be like, oh yeah, here's a point guard, here's a shooting guard, and then like,
No, so how about we make it out? We cap it off. We each do one more player for like a three on like a little. We look at our 3-on-3 teams.
okay.
Oh, all right. So we're
Or
just keeping
I
it
mean,
fair and
I
free.
have
So we
no.
could
We could just do the whole shebang. I mean, it's up to
and
you.
should we just release it as one episode,
We could. How about we just
and then we'll
shorten our
be
summaries? We just go down. We just
all right.
or we just go down individually. Like you say all of your players right now, and then I say
All
all
right,
of
all
mine.
right. How about we just like we speed it up.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
I'll say my last three. We got Cope, obviously. We got Kuz. They're
Hmm.
pretty interchangeable at 3 and 4. Both human buckets, both floor spacers, inside outside. More than a 3-point specialist. And then we have the elite modern day stretch five, Andre Blatch, ahead of his time. Also a little too
That was
heavy
my
for his
pick.
time. But yeah, that's my squad. So we got Pablo, Chris. Kind of wish it was Marsan. Then Cope, Kuz, Blatch. Total Blatchness.
I kind of like it.
The
To
Blatch
be
hole.
real, the Blatch
The
hole.
Blatch
I don't
hole.
think he ever
Blatch.
passed once. I don't think he ever passed
Nah,
once.
but why should he? He's also a guy that like averaged like 20 and 10 for the Nets like, when he got his start. He was genuinely like a good backup center for the Nets. That like one year he like could keep himself together, and then
Yeah.
he's just like, I'm too fat for this. All right.
Um. Okay. So my third player is a guy who was actually like who I loved. And this was same draft as Andy Routon's. This is Landry Fields. I
Oh, of
remember
course.
specifically, if you guys remember, he had like that the biggest moment of the Landry Fields hype train was that put back dunk. He would always time those missed free throws, where he would come running from the back, like from outside the key, and just he'd put those back. And I remember being so hyped. I was like, he will be our starter for the next 5 years. Blah
he
blah blah.
he was
He
he
went to
was
my high
literally
school. You
the
know that?
Are
he
you
was the
serious?
O
Yeah, I've played
He was
pickup with his brother. Like
really. I mean, dude.
I was at the park and I was like, this guy's wearing Stanford basketball shorts and looks like Landry Fields, but it's not Landry Fields, so it's
Dude,
his brother.
no. Landry Fields was like good, and then the Raptors gave him a big contract, and he
he
was
was the OG Frank. Also, when
yes,
the
he
Raptors
was.
gave him a contract, my friend, Simon Jonathan was like at the same hotel as him, so I was able to tell Landry like firsthand that like You're a traitor, Landry.
I remember
But
that. It
then
was
but
like
then
I actually remember Joe Harris was at the same hotel with him, and he like got a picture with him or something like right after
yeah
that. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember that. I remember
I
being
told him he's a
pissed.
traitor. He's like, like it wasn't, I wanted to. I don't know. I don't remember what he said, but he was a traitor. And then
Um,
he like pinched a nerve, tried to like come back as a player during summer
yeah,
league,
and then he
shooting
was done.
lefty. Did not work, and now he's like a scout for the Spurs,
Yeah,
if basketball ever
I bet you
exists
he'll
again.
kill it as a scout. I bet you in 10 years we're gonna be talking about Landry Fields as a GM
I
candidate.
don't know. In 10 years, we might be talking about. Remember when the NBA existed and Landry
Existed,
Fields was a
dude.
player?
Oh my god.
Shout out Landry Fields. Shout out Los Alamitos High School, the home of Landry Fields.
All right.
Okay, so
We have a minute left of per
my
36, so
four
you gotta.
my
If we
four is
want to
gonna be
keep it closer, you gotta.
my four is gonna be Ronaldo Balkman. Easy
Oof.
choice. Um, he was our first round pick. I remember when I used to go to Knicks games when I was younger, I would be dumb hyped about Ronaldo Balkman. And I remember I
And
got down to the court once and I like snuck down. I was tiny. I was wearing my Stephon Marbury jersey. Um, and Ronaldo Balkman kept passing me the ball and shooting and like letting me shoot. And so I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then always loved him after that. And then I really liked it when he went to the Philippines and got kicked out of the Philippines forever for there's that infamous video of him choking that player Arvin Santos when the Filipino announcers goes, "He's choking Arvin Santos!" Like it's a crazy video. He grabs him by it's like actually like
but
watch it.
Ronaldo Ronaldo Bachman was literally probably drafted to the Knicks because of like Leon Rose's influence in like
A
CAA.
thousand
Like
percent. A thousand. He was
now
a first round pick. He wasn't even like a second
yeah,
round scrub. He was a
and
first
now
round pick.
the man responsible for that scheming is ruining the
Hey,
team. So
hey,
I mean, it's
no,
different. We'll see.
I will not tolerate any Leon Rose slander in this
No, but it's
sanctuary.
different. I mean, that's actually Leon Rose
That's
is
good for
crazy. He
him.
could
That's good for him.
finesse. If he could finesse a team into
Yeah,
drafting
that's
Ronaldo
true.
Bachman, like perhaps he could finesse like other teams to make Ronaldo Bachman level mistakes. But I don't know. I mean, not every team is like Dolan in the Knicks, you know. But
I'm gonna give you my final player right now. I don't know if you're gonna know him. He's a little back, but this was like my favorite player growing up for absolutely no reason. I just thought he was like the nicest guy, and my first Knicks game, he was just my guy, and it was Malik Rose. And I know
I
he's a
I
old.
think he's
He
a
was a
GM for
yeah,
the.
yeah. I think he's on the Pistons like assistant GM.
Yeah, McCree was just talking about him because of like the Christian Wood rumors.
Yep. No, Malik Rose was like actually. I don't know. I still to this day don't know what I loved about him so much, but he was like he was who I was diehard for. And so
It's a
like
pretty elite name.
Malik Rose, yeah.
It's a
I
good
remember
name.
Christmas Eve. I actually remember this so perfectly. Christmas Eve, he hit this like crazy jumper, and I was like, this is my Christmas miracle. Like this is like, and I'm very Jewish. Like I went full faith for him.
All right.
For
So
respect,
what's your
respect.
full lineup?
My
It's
my
Sam.
full lineup
Yeah.
from start to bottom is Tony Douglas at the one, um, Andy Routens at the two, Landry Fields at the three,
Oh
Ronaldo
God.
Balkman at the four, Malik Rose at the five, and if I have to go sixth or seventh man, it's going to be Chris Duhon and Henry Skywalker.
Chris
You remember
Chris
Henry?
Duhon.
Duhon,
You remember Bill Walker?
franchise assist leader for the Knicks. Chris Duhon.
Dude, I was at that game against the Blazers when he had 20 assists.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of
Do you
sense.
do you remember what's his name? Henry Skywalker?
Of course, yeah. He changed his name from like Bill to Henry. Of course, he like he had no right to like be getting rotation minutes for like what was a decent Knicks team. Just
He had
like,
no right.
and then for the Heat, then he was on the freaking like LeBron Heat.
Dude,
Oh
he
my
was in the
God,
slam
what a
dunk
swindle!
contest. He was in the slam dunk
Who
contest.
let that happen? Like, how is he like allowed to just like do all of that? Like
Compete in
he,
All-Star weekend.
what? And I don't know. All
Wait,
right,
you got to finish off
let's
your team now. You got to finish off your team.
yeah,
All right, so
round off your five,
to
baby.
finish off, at small forward, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite players still, Wesley Johnson,
Great.
who
Pretty good, pretty good.
I was like, I really liked him coming out of college. I was like, this guy is athletic. You know, he's a bucket. If he can
2K
just have a
guy.
consistent, if he can just have a consistent jump shot, maybe he'll figure it out. And didn't really figure it out, but you know, his length is an intriguing thing. He's a good defensive specialist, I think. Probably not, but
I
maybe.
give him a flyer, you know.
Yeah, like
It's
you
fair.
pick him up on a 10-day, like over Jeff Green, maybe, but I don't know. Uh, and then at the 4, one of the greatest college basketball players of all time, who everyone knew wasn't going to work out, Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Who I just
he's
remember
he's
watching him
he's
at
cooked in like
UNC.
every league that's not the NBA. Like in every non
Yeah,
NBA league, he's like the greatest center of all time. Like he's putting up
yeah.
like 30 and 10 in like the G League in China or whatever. Like he's a
I
god.
just feel like if he was 6'11", maybe he would have been much better. But like in terms of like, I remember his bloody face, and I just remember like, dude, that guy loves the hoop,
Yeah.
and
Dude,
it's
that
a shit.
guy
It's
is
a,
a hooper.
Now
yeah, he's a
his most
hooper.
memorable NBA moment is probably getting frightened by Meta World Peace in a preseason game.
Yeah, I
Poor
mean,
fella.
he was a beast, but it just didn't happen. And then at center, I was between Robert Sacre and Robert Swift.
Great
Gotta
The
choices. Great
battle the
choices.
oh
battle of the Roberts. And I just remember I picked Robert Swift because I remember as a kid I had his like basketball card, and it was a picture of him like with his like scruffy hair and his like a sleeve of tattoos, and I was just like, what is going on with this guy? Um, and yeah, I don't know, he just never really made it, and I just feel like he was maybe ahead of his time, or maybe he would have been better in the '80s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's a common theme here that all of our players were all at, they're all ahead of their time. There's some
Yeah,
glorious maybe post Corona apocalypse NBA where it will finally be their time and it'll be
Hey
yeah,
their
man.
league.
Hey man,
and I just
I'm not holding out hope for the rest of the season. I think we're
The
just gonna be
Chris
like,
Smith will inherit the earth.
hey, I
And I
think
also want to just give a shout out to my honorable mention. My sixth man was going to be Rodrigue Barbados, just because I remember.
Rodrigue
Yeah,
Boubois was he?
Boubois.
Not
He was a
Yeah, you know
god.
what?
He was actually a
Yeah,
god. He was a god.
I remember everyone was like, "Is he Rondo?" And
I
I,
remember
I
that.
just
he was
he could,
Mavs Rondo.
Yeah, he was.
Like
yeah,
Dude, how about that Mavs final series when Ian Mahimi was like actually like mini Shaq?
Ian
yeah.
Mahimi, or do we know
Yeah.
which one it is? Do we
I
know?
think you're right. I think you're right. I don't think I'm right.
No,
Yeah,
I think
it's Jan, I think.
yeah. Yeah,
okay.
but dude,
He's like the one. He's like the only one to get one of those like crazy contracts, like the
yeah.
16.
No, they
But
all
he's the
got
only
those
one to
crazy
act. But he's like the
Berea
only
got
one
that.
to at least like still be playing. So shout out to him. Actually, I guess this might be Umbo was able
And he
to. I
also
bet
does a
he
really
has
nice
minutes.
Christmas lights in DC, I've heard. So shout out to Jan. Nice guy,
Shout
friend
out
of the program, friend of the pod,
friend of
and
the pod,
you know,
Yamahiri.
yeah, yeah, what a guy.
All right, so your final five is what?
My final
It's
five is Jordan Fargod, Marshawn Brooks, Wesley
it's pretty good.
Johnson, just for the length, and then Tyler Hansborough and Robert Swift to round it out. And then coming off
That
the bench, Rodrigue Boubois. Like that's just a nice team, You know that point. You
that
know that
yeah
team's giving up 100 and scoring 0.
that
Like
that might be the best of our fives. That's the garbage. Those are the garbage time kings right there. Like
yeah,
you need a bucket down 30. Like that's your squad right there.
One hey, 1 minute ago, this it actually got Begley tweeted the New York Knicks are enamored with pending free agent Christian Wood.
I know, but McCree said it like his inside source was like that he was talking to Malik Rose. Malik Rose was like, "Oh, you don't want to play in New York, Christian Wood, you know?"
That's so fucked up.
Whoa,
yeah. It's just
I forgot. B
it's all
it's
good.
okay.
WTBU.
Yeah, that's right. It's not
It's
gonna bother
alright.
you. All right, whatever. But
Um,
anywho, Christian Wood, if he ever recovers from the Rona, if the league ever recovers from the Rona, maybe future Nick, Malik Rose, good member of the Simon starting five, but perhaps maybe not able to keep Christian Wood in his grips. Um,
yo,
Wasn't
I don't know.
Christian Wood on the Bucks?
if we have Christian Wood and Julius Randle on the court at the same time, ah,
And Mitchell
Yeah,
Robinson. Just
everyone is like all of a sudden happy about Christian Hood, but like, let me tell you, there's another power forward that just had like a very efficient scoring season for a very bad team that everyone hates this year. So I'm not saying Christian Wood is Julius Randle, but like, I'm saying that like Christian Wood is Julius Randle with hops.
would
But
you trade? Would you trade Julius Randle and
yes.
wait, stop.
Oh,
Would you
oh, oh.
would you trade Julius Randle and Frank for John Collins?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't. Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like
I
John Collins
honestly,
is like
John
I don't
Collins is
know.
always the low trade value guy in 2K. Like
I know.
you can always
I always.
you can always get him for like a second.
You can
Like
snag him for
I,
anything.
I don't know.
Okay,
I mean,
we're at 45
I
minutes
mean
right
the
now.
thing is, all right, yeah. I guess we can wrap it up with this question. I don't know. I love Frank, and I'm
No,
not really
I
a
don't
fan
know.
of
Yeah,
like
maybe
big men
no.
that can't play defense. But I think you
I
have
agree.
to do that. I mean, I think at some point you gotta take a chance on like an actual decent young player instead of the one we all love. That's not that
Nah,
just scored two
hey
games
Frank.
ago. You know, he's pretty good. He's a guy. He's a guy. I mean, I love me some Frank. I'm not trying to hit on Frank, but for John Collins, I think yes. The
Okay,
Hawks would do that trade just to get Frank
yeah,
away from shutting down Trey. Like that's
yeah.
the whole point of it. They don't actually
Imagine
want
that
him or
backcourt.
Randall. Yeah. All right. I guess we should wrap things up. Matt, you have anything you wanna promote,
I just
my friend?
I just want to give a quick shout out to Jerome Robinson. He's he
Oh
was
yeah,
getting
he didn't
buckets
make
for
the
the Wizards a
team.
little bit. Yeah, so I'm a huge Jerome Robinson stan. If anyone didn't know this, and he didn't make the team because I thought he was probably too good. And I was thinking
Yeah,
about
it's true.
guys who are scrubs, and I think Jerome Robinson. He's only been in the league for a couple years, and I feel like he still has a chance to like turn into an all-star, or at
Yeah.
least
Meanwhile,
not an all-star.
meanwhile, meanwhile, the Knicks literally went out of their way to just not like they were giving like Jerome Robinson could have been a Knick. But the Knicks were like, no, we're too good for him. You won't cut any
Yeah.
more. So
Well, they lost money.
I
I
don't know.
would have bought his
I don't know what
jersey.
that says
Now
about.
I gotta buy a Wizards jersey.
That's true. I mean, they want to, especially now that they're regarding that with like ticket sales down. I mean, Jerome Robinson jerseys they would have kept things
Yeah,
afloat for Dolan.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
Dolan's like out on the street. You know. All right. I guess we
yeah.
should wrap this
Yep.
very
Um,
special
Follow me
edition.
on Twitter at
Of
Matt Not Singer.
Wait, is it Matt Not
Yeah,
Singer or Matt Not Sing?
Matt Not Singer.
yeah. My last name is Singer, but
Are
I'm
you
not a
sure
singer, so it's like
Matt Not Singer.
are you
Yeah,
sure it's
great.
not?
yeah,
Okay. All right. All
yeah,
right.
He's
Let's
not
end
but
it like
he's not a
this.
singer. But he's not.
yeah. I don't sing. Yeah,
Not doesn't sing. Don't he only sings the praises of Jerome Robinson.
And Robert
yeah. Because who
Sacre.
wouldn't? Robert Sacre,
Yeah.
Robert Swin. I
The
love the
Knicks.
Roberts.
The
Okay.
You know.
Bobs. All right. Let's
We'll be back.
we'll be back.
Oh, and
But will
hey,
this season?
in
Oh,
one of the next episodes, Boot and I will have a pretty special announcement
yeah, I
just to keep you
guess.
guys on your toes. We'll see.
Yeah, very special. Big things, big things. More great things ahead.
More great things.
More great things. Peace and love.
Zip.
Well, thanks for having me. Shout out the gang.
Shout out the gang.
Peace.
Peace.